Hey guys, this is Seth. I just wanted to go over Realty Back Office with you. This is our tracking software that helps you follow and see what you're doing for the year. And it also is kind of our back-end transaction tracking software. So what this is going to allow us to do is have a mutual place for our transaction coordinators to communicate with our agents during the transactions process without having to fill up the lines for the transaction coordinator so that they're on the phone all the time. So in here, you can see at the top of the dashboard, when you log in, this is what you're going to see. You're going to have what's listed under your name, what's pending for you, and then what you've closed for the year. And in here, underneath that, you're going to have office announcements. So these office announcements, what I want to utilize this for is going to be special meetings, or if we're having a Christmas party or something of that nature, or if you have an open house, you can post that as well and just make sure that you have that visible to everybody so that if you have an open house and you want to try to drum up some traction for that, you can do that. Going down here, we have some charts. So when you have some closings, your like January will pop up, and then you have February, March. So you have each month, and then your actual volume. So number of transactions, volume of transactions. And then over here, if there's any transactions that you have that are currently pending a task, you can see down here. And then once you click into that, it'll show you what exactly you're needing to do under task over here on the right. So we just need to upload a fully executed contract. If I go into documents, I can see that that's been done. So I can click that. And click, oops, select documents. So all these would go under here. So complete all that stuff. So those will save. And then it'll come in to be approved by admin. So myself or one of our transaction coordinators. Going back to the dashboard, down here at the bottom is our favorite links and vendors. So this is going to be different links to places like Breakthrough Broker, Canva that you can use to help build your business, our company Facebook, and then different reference websites. So Netris, TAR's website, Trex website, and NAR's website. If there's something that you have that you feel would benefit the entire team, then you can submit it to me and I will get it added. The next step over here. So to get to any of your links, it's just going to be what they call a hamburger menu up here. So the next thing we're going to look at is transactions. So these are going to be all the transactions that you have currently under your name and what status they're in. Unless it's a listing, we don't put anything up here that does not have a contract on it. So if you're on the buy side, once you have a contract executed, then it will go in here and it'll show you as a pending status when your closing date is and when it was created. So if we go in here and we look at this property, you can see over on the left, the status pending. It's a residential sale. The side of the transaction that I'm on is the selling agent. So I'm on the buy side. If it was a listing, we would put our listing date and when it expires in here. We have our contract date. So that's when this transaction went under contract and when we're scheduled to close. The listing price and the sales price, and then what % of commission we'll be receiving on that. Over here in the middle, you're going to have all the property details and you'll have some different tabs, and we're going to go over each of those. So your property details are here. You don't have to put in the MLS number, the county, et cetera. You don't have to put any of this information in. And then below, you have escrow details. So the escrow details you don't necessarily need to put in either. The big piece of this is going to be the contingency dates. And so you'll have an inspection contingency date, which is your option period, and then a financing contingency date, which is on the third-party financing addendum. Over here, we've got documents. The documents get uploaded once the contract is executed, and that's where we're going to be able to see. You'll be able to go in here and quickly reference that instead of having to go back through all your emails. So if we want to look at the offer here, you just click on it, it'll pull it up and lets you see all the information on this offer. Contacts, these get uploaded whenever we get ready to do the CDA. The only one that we're really using here is going to be escrow manager. So if there is your escrow officer is going to be put in here, and that's just so that we can make sure that that gets sent to them. In your financials, this is actually going to break down your commission. So this is what the gross commission is on this deal. You can see this is what my commission is. This is what the company's commission is. And if it was a listing where we have our $495 admin fee, that would go in under company processing fee. And then this final tab is called request. The only one that we're really going to be using is called paid at closing. That is how we process our CDAs. So whenever it's a week before closing, our transaction coordinator will submit the request for paid at closing or the CDA, and then that'll get approved. Moving down, so there is e-signature portal in here. It's a little bit clunky to use, so I would recommend using either Dotloop, or if you want something that's free, you can use Zip Forms through your NAR membership. Opportunities. So these are going to be leads that are sent to you that didn't come through a digital portal. So they're not somebody that we got on Facebook. They're not somebody that we used any of our stuff that's tied into our KV Core platform. This is if I had somebody that was a friend of mine, but they're out of our market area and I don't want to, let's say they're down in Austin, I don't want to drive to Austin, then that's something that I can submit in here, and we can set up our commissions and structures and stuff like that. But it allows us to track different leads that have been given out to different agents. And if agents are not following up with those leads, we can shift them to different agents. But if you get an opportunity through this or a lead, then make sure you take that opportunity and you put it into KV Core so that you can use all the KV Core stuff to be able to follow up with them. Task, this is where you can see any tasks that have been assigned to you. So if the transaction coordinator is needing you to upload a survey or something that's actually physically signed, then you would upload it. They would ask for it here and you would upload it to that transaction. People, this is simply going to be contacts that have been part of our closings in the past. So you can see here, this is the escrow officer at the Capital Title in Burleson, Elise. She's handled a lot of our deals for us, so I put her name in here, but she is going to be one of our contacts that will be put into the transaction if she's handling it, so that we can file that CDA and get you guys paid. The next tab is going to be the calendar. This calendar is a really neat feature. So whenever the contract is uploaded into Realty back office, this is going to sync to your calendar in Google. And so you'll actually be able to see when the closing dates are, when the contract was accepted, when the inspection contingency is up or the option period. And then you can also see when financing is due if we've got the date in there for that. The big thing for me is if you've got a week full of closings, you can come here and this will sync with your Google Calendar, but you can see here at a glance of what your week looks like with closings. Going in here into reports, the first thing we'll talk about is stats reports. Now, being that it's the beginning of the year and I don't have anything closed, this doesn't look very impressive. But what this is going to do is as you close deals, you'll be able to track your volume. And so once you hit those different marks, if you're a brand new agent, once you hit the $2 million lifetime mark, then that'll be something you could track here and see how close you are. Once you're getting close to that 3.5 million, you can know, okay, all I gotta do is close one more deal and now I'm on that 90-10 split. And so this is somewhere you can track it. It also lets me on the back end see those numbers so that I know when to shift you guys over to different commissions. And then in here, once you have closed deals, it shows you how much your total was, your closed transactions, and then how much your average transaction or average commission per transaction is. And so I'll show you what that kind of looks like on the forecasting reports. So forecasting is everything that's in your pipeline. So those 3 deals that I have right now, those are going to be worth $1 million in volume. and we're looking at an average sale price of 344,000. If that, when we translate that over to commissions, we're looking at 24,000 in commissions, 3 transactions with an average commission of $8,261. That is the same commission structure everybody else is on. So it is the 80-20 split, but that gives you an idea at that volume what you're looking like on the commission side of it. So the next thing I want to show you is going to be in our general settings. So you can come in here and you can fill out your profile. You can put your picture in here. But the big thing that we want to make sure you do is come in here and integrate your Rev Real Estate email into this program. So what that'll do is it'll allow us to update your calendar. It's also going to allow you to update to have this tied into your Google Drive. So once a transaction is closed, it'll back up to your Google Drive. And that's going to allow you to have all that information on that deal right there at your fingertips. So if you had to have, if somebody came back and said, hey, on that contract, I don't have a copy of it, can you email me that? Well, we can email you the original copy. If they had any questions on an amendment or something like that, or if you needed to use it to get out of a deal, obviously, well, that would already be closed. But if you did need to use it or reference it at some point, we'll have it saved to the Google Drive. There's other things in here, branding. So you can see different things in here as far as favorite links and vendors. So I can add those in here. We don't have any action plans set up right now, but this just goes on our subscription, password, and then preferences. So we're not really using the CRM function in this, but you could technically use it. It's just not nearly as powerful as the one that we're using already. So the main thing for this is just to be able to track what you're doing and then see any kind of announcements or anything coming up. And you can see that's what it looks like once it's populated with deals. So this is the admin side of things, but you can see we've got some different things that pop up here, but shows you how many deals we've done, how much we did in January. Obviously, we haven't hit February yet, but this shows you what we got going on. But it's a neat thing. And if you have any questions or any comments, concerns, let me know, and I'll be happy to help. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to y'all soon.